Hello Emily, today is a very special video. It's special for two reasons. One, even though I bought rechargeable batteries, they don't seem to be holding a charge. And number two, this is the first video posted post-deadline. I've lost. I was really hoping in the beginning that I wasn't going to be the first one to miss a deadline, but I was the first one to miss a deadline. So I was thinking, what can I make a video about that I actually know about and I can have fun talking about? I was thinking maybe my trip to the Netherlands last week, but then I was like, nah. You're really not missing anything because I forgot to take any footage. Actually, that's not true because by the time I did remember to take footage, my batteries died. Stupid Dutch rechargeable batteries. So today I'm going to be talking about Argentina's default in the early 2000s. Sounds awesome! I hope you don't mind the reflection of the screen in my glasses as much as I do. I obviously can't give all the details of the default, but I can give a basic timeline leading up to and just afterwards. It started in the 90s with the Clinton administration. The US was going through a small recession, nothing like what we went through in the past couple of years though. For Argentina, however, the recession was much worse. Argentina was suffering from some major hyperinflation. Some prices rose to over 1,000% of what they used to be. People weren't investing money into Argentine banks because they were afraid that the money was going to disappear out of thin air. So Argentina pulls a very controversial economic move and pegs its currency. Now the most famous example of a country pegging its currency would be China pegging the yuan to 1/6 the value of the American dollar. This has the same basic goal, which is to get money flowing into China. However, the difference lies in the fact that in China, all the money flowing in is through business. Considering that the Chinese yuan is so cheap, our dollar goes a long way in China, which is why you can find made in China on most of our products. Argentina, however, planned to get money flowing into the country through bonds. By pegging the Argentine peso to the US dollar, Argentina now had a very strong currency. With a strong currency, people started buying Argentine bonds. With all the people buying bonds, the Argentine economy started booming, and thus more people started buying Argentine bonds. For a couple years, Argentina is in a state of utter prosperity. However, Argentina is not the biggest production powerhouse in the world. GDP can't keep up with Argentine debt, and the debt just grows and grows. The two biggest Argentine exports, soybeans and wheat, start to drop, and unemployment is on the rise. People with basic economic knowledge noticed what was happening and started pulling their money out of the banks in what we call a slow-motion bank run. This did not go unnoticed by the Argentine government, and they locked the banks. I don't mean that in a figurative sense, they boarded the windows of banks. People start panicking. All the money that the people of Argentina have made and put in the banks is now locked away and they can't get to it. And thus starts what we call a debt spiral. Argentina is piling on more and more debt. And when you have more debt, it becomes more expensive to borrow. So the debt starts growing even more, exponentially, until eventually Argentina realizes it just cannot pay what it owes. So it defaults. Now, if you don't know what the word default means in economic terms, basically Argentina said, your money's gone, we're not paying you back. Argentina defaults and the peso collapses. It falls to about 1/3 of what it used to be. Well, 1/3 of what the dollar used to be. Now, as you can imagine, the world is not too happy with Argentina right now. Any country that Argentina owes money can seize Argentina's international assets at any moment. So Argentina, to avoid essentially being repossessed by the major countries in the world, puts all of its money inside the country or in Swiss banks where an international immunity keeps it safe. A couple years later, Argentina is doing a bit better and offers to pay about 1/3 of what it owes to the countries. Many of the countries say it's better than nothing and they take it. However, many, like the US, decide, no, you owe us 3 times what you are going to pay us. So thus is created America Task Force Argentina, a group whose sole purpose is to get back the money that we lent to Argentina. Right now, Argentina owes countries about $16 billion. Some countries have started lending to Argentina again. However, for many it just seems too risky, leaving Argentina essentially locked out of some of the major international markets. So I hope you all enjoyed that little economic spiel. Emily knows this, but a lot of you probably don't know that I'm going to be an economics major. Surprise. If any of you watched it and got to this point and enjoyed it, leave a comment and I'll make some more of these videos like this because Emily likes to learn and she's not good at economics. And plus you people don't comment. Why don't you comment on these videos? I know we've only got like 10 subscribers, but that's okay. We love you. So let me know what you thought. I hope you enjoyed it. And Emily, I will see you Sunday. That's 2 days in from now. Oh, I should probably mention our punishments. So I don't know if any of you have noticed that we have a deadline, but every Sunday one of us has to upload a video. It goes me, Emily, me, Emily, me, Emily, or actually Emily, me, Emily, me, yeah. So we've decided that if someone misses a Sunday deadline, they have to buy the other person coffee. Preferably at Latte Lounge in Oneana, because it's the fucking best. And if someone misses the next person's Sunday deadline, then they have to buy them coffee and a book at the Green Toad, which is hooked up to the Latte Lounge, which is also the fucking best. So Emily and I will see you in 3 days. This video is 100% pants free.